Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is Wednesday, and it's very interesting. The Dow is at an all-time high, which is very, very interesting. It looks as if the Dow's at an all-time high, and we are we are looking we're looking at new ground, which is kind of incredible. The fact that it would be at this level. So very, very, very interesting. A very interesting thing. So let's kind of get into some of the slides and go from there. All right. Let's see if I can. hmm, There. All right. There we go. All right. So basically, if you want to see this live on, oh, well, hopefully that'll work. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna have to shut something down here in just a second. So hold on just a second, and we will be right back live here on Dallas Trading Floor. Yeah, there we go. Now we're back. We're back and ready to rock. Had a little bit of an interesting thing out there with the bandwidth. I didn't quite have enough bandwidth, so I had to shut down a machine, and here we go. Basically, the indexes are very, very interesting. As you can see, the Dow is up. It finally, this is the third leg of the follow through. It's up a little bit less than a percent, but just an all-time high. Amazing, gained about 146 to 35, 604.12. That's where it closed. So very, very good. The S&P is up as well. Nasdaq's off a little bit, but it had been leading. So you know what? We're in a confirmed uptrend, and that indeed is amazing. So we are in a absolute confirmed uptrend here. And what that means is that you want to move back into the market. I've been trying to get fully invested. Still not quite there, but I want to kind of show you some of the ones that I've been going into. Just just in the last few days. Learning Club. This is Lending Club, excuse me, not Learning Club. Lending Club LC. It's on the New York Stock Exchange. Very interesting. Very similar to the stock Upstart, sort of in the same space, the fintech space, but it's gaining a lot of momentum. It's a lot less expensive, of course, than Upstart. $35 stock. It's up about 3% today, a little bit 3 to 4% today. But what's really interesting here is the volume. The volume is moving up. So this indeed is a very nice stock. I think we'll see how we're doing on it. But it's looking pretty good. This is one I've been buying. Also, I've been buying the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Now, Bitcoin is going nuts. I guess we're looking at potentially a situation where we're going to be moving a lot higher on Bitcoin, and that's a good thing. One of the ways you can get into it is with the GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Unfortunately, it's a little extended, but we've had a powerful movement on this the last few days. I've been piling into this for about a week. I made my third, yeah, it's my third buy on this one. It's up $2.96 and on very, very strong volume. And as you can see, it's closing almost to the top of its trading range. So that indeed is a very interesting thing that's going on with GBTC. And what it is this is about 4% of the world's Bitcoin supply is in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So that's one you might want to kind of put on your radar screen. Here is the allocation on the small portfolio. And I use the small portfolio basically as a sort of a guide, to find out where the winners are. Then once I have a winner, then I will move into it more. I did sell I did sell Hess today. If you were looking at yesterday, I was in Hess. I sold it, slight loss, but everything else is up. EOG, of course, is a oil company. Of course, AMD. I've been adding to AMD as well. Microsoft, of course, and this is, and as you can see, these are the number of holding days. I've only been in Lending Club 6 days, basically basically since last week. 25 days for CRM, which of course is Salesforce, and then only 6 days for TX. This is a steel stock, so kind of interesting. These are the stop losses that I have on them. 83.97 for EOG, 114.10 for AMD, Microsoft 285, 32.20 for Lending Club. CRM, the stop loss is 271, and for for TX 42. So I'll be updating these, but typically you want to keep it pretty tight. I'm keeping them pretty tight, within about 5%. So if it does pull back, I won't be sorry. Here are all the stocks that I currently am holding. EOG, of course, and Microsoft down a little bit today. CRM, that of course is Salesforce. AMD, of course, it's down to 5 cents, not a whole lot, but it is definitely down a little bit. Hess, it shows on this list. I did sell it, so Hess is off that list. This is the last day that it was on. It was down up a little bit. I decided that, hey, I already have a winning oil stock, so I'll go with the E&P, which is doing better. TX, of course, it's up today. That is a steel stock. LC Lending Club, that's up as well. Off a little bit on Robert Half. I don't know. I may be getting rid of that. We'll see. It's kind of been laggard. GBTC up tremendously today, $6.49. No real change in terms of the volume, but the price is definitely up on that. MGM, this is a gambling stock, down 41 cents. Not a whole lot. Not a lot of volume, so I'm not too worried about that. QQQ, I did buy some more QQQ today. It's down a little bit, but of course, this is the NASDAQ 100 ETF, and I use this for the ready funds that I'm getting ready to deploy within 6 months. I typically will be buying them in the QQQ and then, writing that up and then selling when I need the cash. So that's a good way to do cash management. Fortinet, it's up tremendously. Again, it's an expensive stock, but up a little bit less than a percent, $2.19. So that's kind of what I have currently out there. Just wanted to show you the stock of the day. This is the IBD stock of the day. And of course, I don't get any money from IBD. I wish I did. But this one looking pretty decent. And it's working on a consolidation buy point. Steel Dynamics. I don't own this one. The stock that I own in this sector is TX. So I own TX, but I don't own Steel Dynamics. But this one is the stock of the day, and it's coming up. It's just the amount of infrastructure, the amount of profit on this one is truly remarkable. So you might want to put this on your watch list. I don't necessarily recommend buying it, but STLD, Steel Dynamics. So that's kind of that's kind of the long and the short of it, of where that's coming from. So let's get into some of the questions as soon as I can. Uh, yeah, as soon as I can get back to uh, to the screen. Great. Okay. Super. All right. And hopefully I'll have this up in just a second. So all right. We'll get to the um, the charts. All right. So thanks for holding on, everybody, and just bring those comments up. And Polly's up first. Thank you very much, Polly. Let's look at GBTC. Let's just look at the chart for GBTC. I'm just gonna, and you can see all of my buys here on GBTC. It's been doing very, very well. I mean, I'll say that definitely doing very, very well. The GBTC, as you can see, we came through this reversal line. I didn't buy it because it was below the. There we go. There's my notation. Today I added to about 50 shares at 51.62. My stop loss, I moved it up to 46.20. As you can see, I've just been buying it as it's been moving hard. Did close very nicely, almost at the top of the range today. Look at this is one of the things that I think that it's very important to note is this is the you know is the are these volume lines? As you can see, we're way above the normal volume. Normal volume, of course, is represented by this red line here. So the fact that we're so far above that is just it's kind of amazing, actually. That is this is an exponential scale, this volume scale on the bottom. And the thing I want to kind of show you with this is how much volume is coming into GBTC. Now the question is, are we out of the woods yet? Are we going to go higher? I really do believe we're going to go higher. There's an intermediate buy point. It's not really showing on this chart because of just the pattern recognition doesn't quite work on this, but it's at 56.77, and so I definitely think we have a little bit to go up. Bitcoin has been surging with the concerns, on the economy. So this is definitely something that I think that we can definitely definitely work with here. And I do think that it's a little bit early to get into. I don't know if I would buy it at this level because it is a tad extended. It is a tad extended, but I do think that it is indeed a good it's a good potential. It's a definitely a good potential. Now there is another one, BIT0. Let's take a look at that one. That just came out yesterday, so I kind of want to sort of look at that one as well. BITO, I believe that is the symbol for it. Now let me just check that really quickly. This is the Bitcoin futures ETF that came out yesterday, and I'm just trying to see if I've got the where is it? Uh, BIT, BITL. I think it is. BITI, is that it? Let's take a look. BIT. I think it's good. Uh, hmm. There it is. Bitcoin strategy. This is and just kind of let's see where this is going. This is adjusted down a little bit. Yeah, it adjusted it down. As you can see, it came out, moved above 44, and then it has moved down. So let's take a look at the chart here. This is the other one. This is the Invesco Bitcoin strategy. Now, this one does not hold actual Bitcoin. The difference is the GBTC actually holds Bitcoin, so that's significant. This one is on the futures contracts, so these are settled without buying Bitcoin. This one is sort of I definitely like the fact that the GBTC actually holds Bitcoin, whereas this one does not. So this is pulled back. It's currently trading, and after hours it's down a little bit. It was up today and down. So we don't want to really do anything with this one. Uh, until we wait probably, I would say at least a month or two, probably before we can see how this is coming out. Even though this is an ETF and not an IPO, I think that you've got to be careful on this one. I think the GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, is the one you want to trade for right now until we get a better idea of kind of how this one is going to trade. The BITO, that's the one. So let's look at this is Litecoin LTCN. Oh, that's interesting, Polly. I'm not in Litecoin. LTCN. Ethereum is really the other one. Yeah. Okay. So this is the Grayscale Litecoin Trust. This one is not doing obviously as well. Let's take a look at it. This is also another product by Grayscale. Relative strength of 1. I'm a little dubious on it right now. It's trading for 17.60 a share. I mean, if we definitely see an uptick, then maybe. But let's go to the weekly chart to look at this one. The Litecoin Trust. Yeah, this one just doesn't. It started up there, way up there, basically, at the beginning of the year, and then it's just done nothing but go down. So we want to wait on this one. Maybe we can come into this one later, but I wouldn't touch this one right now, just due to the fact of that. Let's look at the Ethereum. That's the other one that Grayscale has. ETHM, if I've got that right. Okay. no, that's Litecoin. ET. Yeah, there we go. There's the Erythium Trust. Okay, so this is the other one that we want to probably look at. This one's at a buy point. So this is a little bit different here. This is basically if you want to go into Erythium. I think Erythium and Bitcoin really are the two coins that you want to concentrate on more than the other ones. You can make money in the other ones, but I do like doing it this way, where we are going through sort of an intermediary ETF with this one. This one does have a relative strength of 98. It's right at a buy point, so this one you might want to put on your list. ETHE. Matter of fact, I'm going to write it ETHE, and this is the Erythium Bitcoin Trust. Let's see if I get my windows back here. Hold on. There we go. All right. So this is the Erythium um, trust as well. So this one might be an other alternative. I'd kind of avoid Litecoin for right now, just based on what I'm seeing on these. But it's a very interesting. Let's look at Hut. Is another. This is a Bitcoin miner in Canada. I haven't been following this one too closely. I don't own it. It's called Hut 8, and let's pull up the chart now. Let's see if it can let me do that. The name of this, yeah, Hut 8. There we go. Okay, there we go. Hut 8 mining. This one's just been going straight up. I mean, it's interesting. I don't own it. I don't own this one. But very interesting. Very interesting. Definitely, the sales are up tremendously. 200 so something must be coming on good with them. I guess the reason that they're in Toronto, I guess the reason they're in Canada is Canada has some of the lowest price electricity in the world. So I guess that's probably a good place, especially in the hydro that they have in Quebec. So I guess that's why they're doing it there. Relative strength of 99. So you might want to put this one on your list. I don't own this. I don't own Hut 8. It is kind of an interesting company. There are options on this. Boy, this is really interesting. Let's take a look. It's got a pretty decent checklist too. Let's look at that checklist. Yeah, 78 on that checklist. So very strong on that. Wow, very interesting. Obviously, no, I don't. Oh, actually, funds own it. That is incredible. So you actually have funds that own this. I didn't realize that that was the case. So this is looking very good, actually. Unfortunately, there's really no place to buy it, what I can see on the weekly chart. But but on the daily chart, this daily, if it pulls back to the 10-day line, that would be possibly a place where you could enter it. And what I'm doing is here is I'm just looking how far above currently, we're way extended. We're 11% above the 10-day line. You really don't want to buy these unless you're about within 5% of the 10-day line. So, but we have this 99 relative strength. So this is definitely one that I'm going to kind of put on the watch list. I'm going to flag this one. Don't really have a strategy for it yet, but very interesting, Matt. Very interesting. Um, let's look at DAVA. These are two very interesting stocks that I'm not that familiar with, to be honest. Let's look at the AVA and see what we have there. Okay, UK based. Okay, well, this is in the buy zone. Interesting. Cloud transformation. Okay. This area has been getting some love, definitely. This area definitely has been getting some love, and the computer tech services area is very strong right now, 13 out of 197. So I'm liking this. I don't like this relative strength line pointing down. I like the fact that it's 95, but I don't like the fact that it's pointing down. It did test the 10-day line. So let's see if we can get a bounce off the 21-day line. Interesting. Let me look at this one. Boy, this is not a bad checklist. This is 100% checklist. So this in and of itself, the fact that it's 100% checklist is very strong. Oh, we have. I'm going to have to do this. I have to turn off the ringer on my cell phone. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so it's off now. Sorry about that. I use the cell phone to one of these cell phones to broadcast, and also it's my phone. So there you go. 100% checklist. So that's looking very, very good. Boy, I don't know that. I have to say that is, 100% um, checklist. So that's definitely buy, and it's in a buy range. So boy, I don't know. That one might be something that you could do something with. Absolutely, that might be something you could do with something here. I don't know the company. The fact that it's UK based, it's very interesting. I don't know the company at all, but I do like the fact that it's in, that it's in this buy zone. Now, here's the thing: it did close to the low part of its buy zone. There has been some selling. Here's the thing: I would wait for it possibly to move to possibly bounce. It's probably going to get support at the 21-day line, so I would wait on this one. I would watch this one a little bit, but I think that you could definitely buy this one, but I wouldn't buy it now. I would instead watch this one until it bounces above that 21-day line. If it does, then I think we might have something there. So very, very interesting. Thanks, Matt, for both of these. Both of these very interesting stocks. So on Hut, I definitely think that you could probably buy Hut. I'm not going to be buying Hut, but you could definitely buy Hut. DAVA also very strong. I think with DAVA, you want to wait a little bit until it bounces off that 21-day line. I'm looking at about, if it pulls below about 142, that's probably where you could buy it. 142 would be good. That's an interesting stock. So thank you very much for that. That's very, very good. All right, well, let's get to the one of the big ones, and of course that's Tesla. And there's going to be earnings tonight. We had a gentleman in the Discord room, in our Discord room, that did this beautiful spread on Tesla. Now let's see how it's faring. Okay, it's a little bit after hours. I just looking how it reacted to the reacted to the news. Boy, this the earnings were up. Yeah, I kind of expected that. I mean, let's just kind of look at the fundamentals here, and I'm switching over to the weekly chart is what I'm doing now. The reason what I'm talking about fundamentals for everybody that doesn't know what this is that's the earnings per share. That's what they teach you in finance class. I do analysis on both fundamentals and technicals. Now, when I'm buying a stock, I'm analyzing both the fundamentals and the technicals. When I'm selling, I'm looking at only the technicals. So on the fundamentals, right now, Tesla is looking pretty nice. I mean, it has this very, very long consolidation, and it's at 865, it's probably viable. It's probably viable. It probably will pull back tomorrow, but this is looking very, very good. The profits were up 230%. That is spectacular. I have to say that is spectacular. Any stock that can do this kind of thing, where it's going up and it's making 20% more profit every quarter, boy, that's a stock you want to own. Look at this: 105, 95, 304, 230. So I think that we're finally now through that consolidation period. Now, this was the best stock that I had last year. I basically, when it started pulling back, I sold out, and then I tried to re-enter several times. I was unsuccessful. This time, though, I think that we might be in a situation where we could possibly come back in to Tesla, because it looks like it has based. This is the basing kind of area. This is the monthly chart. It just rocketed up. Basically, 2020 was just the year for Tesla stock. See, I entered it. This is a split adjusted, but I entered it basically, when it broke here, and then it moved up. Now, this is a time we're almost at the all-time high. When you the one of the best times to buy a stock, and this seems very counterintuitive, is when it's making it a high, when it's making an all-time high, and that's definitely the case with, we're not quite there yet. I mean, the all-time high for Tesla was 903.40, and that was made, back in June of last year. So we've had this consolidation essentially for a year. And as you can see, I tried numerous times to get into it, and I did, but I didn't go in with both hands. I'm thinking, this might be the time. This might be the time. It's pulling back a little bit after hours. So tomorrow I want to watch Tesla very carefully, but I do believe that it is looking very, very, very good. So that's definitely something that we can you know, that, uh, that's looking good. So you could buy it at these levels. You could definitely buy Tesla at these levels, and it wouldn't be a bad place to buy it. It wouldn't be a bad place to buy it at all. Let's look at the checklist. I want to kind of take a look at that just to make sure. And a little bit slow on the bandwidth today. I don't know what the issue is there. Oh, there we go. 89% on the checklist. The only thing it fails on is the EPS rating, and that's improving. So wow, I just and it's 9 today. So all in all, I do think that this is a viable this is definitely a viable stock. So very very interesting, very interesting on that. And all right, well let's take the next question and move to the next question, and hopefully I can. It's let me see if I can close this window. There we go. All right. So let's take a look at the next question. And that we did Tesla, so let's do Zim and BYD. Let's look at Zim first. Zim is, of course, a shipping stock, as everybody knows, and it went way up and then it's pulled back. It is right in the buy zone right now, which that's interesting because it has. I think we're going to see some, continued strength in this area because of the backlog in a lot of the ports and just the shipping in general. We have all these supply chain issues. It did break above that 40-day line. The question is, could you buy it here? Well, I do think it's reversing. But let's look at the sector. I want to see this one based on the other ones that are that are in in this area. I'm going to look at um, the entire group. This is the shipping group, and see if there's anything there. Right now, Matson is the number one. Now, I did sell my position in Matson, as you probably know. I had Matson, and it had run up. I'd been pushing my stop loss up with it, and for some reason I am trying to. I'm having some bad. There we go. I think I'm having some connectivity issues to my charts, as you can tell. Okay, so did we get support from Matson? Um, this is starting to consolidate here. So I don't know. I don't know if you could buy Matson at this level. Um, I I don't know if you could buy Matson at this level, but basically the buy point 79.05, and we're above that. So you definitely it's in the buy zone, but I would be careful. This is probably the one I would buy over Zim, and part of the reason I think that this is a better stock right now than Zim is due to the fact that this is a U.S. based company. Now, in shipping, that's a tremendous advantage because that means that instead of having if you're not U.S. flagged, you could only go to one port of the U.S. and then you have to return back to China or wherever you're going. If you're U.S. flagged, you can make multiple stops, and that's the case with Matson. Usually, they'll stop in Hawaii and then they'll come to Los Angeles and then they may go up to Seattle and then they can come back. They could do all those. So they have an advantage based on regulations over many of the foreign flagged companies. This is the largest U.S. based container company, Matson Line. So it's got a 100% checklist. So if you want to be in the shipping area, and this is a really good area, it's still number 9 out of 197. This area is probably going to continue to go higher. This might not be a bad place to start building a position if you want to be in the shipping stocks because this is looking very, very good. After the pullback, I think it's getting ready, possibly to move higher. I think so. Let's look at BYD. I think is this Build Your Dreams? I'm just trying. This is the Buffett car company in China. I don't know if that's the symbol for it. Let me just see. No, Boyd. Okay, Boyd Gaming. This is one I do like as well. Thank you for bringing that up, Jeet. Um, I like this one as well. We're a little bit below the buy zone on a cup with handle formation. Um, so the one I have in this area, let's look at the group. This is the leisure gaming area. It's 23 out of 197. So I definitely like where it is. I currently have there we go. I currently have in this area um, MGM. So let me just take a look to see. Yeah, there we go. MGM. This is the one I have. And I just want to take a look at it. Yeah, this was pulled back to basically the 10-day line. So this is actually pretty good action. Hopefully, it'll hold this 10-day line and move from there. This has also, if you want to be in the gaming, I think that this one might be the better of the two. 89 checklist for this one. Relative strength is still pretty strong. The only where this is lacking is in one of the fundamental areas, and of course, that's in profits, and that's an important area. It's not in the top 20% of profitability, but it is the profits were definitely up in the second quarter. The sales were up 683%, and they're still losing a little bit of money, MGM. But I do think this next earnings, which is in 14 days, likely to be very strong for MGM. This one of the advantages of MGM over a lot of the other stocks in this leisure gaming area is the fact that there is no China exposure with MGM, and that's an important thing. That can be a very, very important aspect of it, is that there's no China exposure. All right, well, let's take a look at some people on TikTok. Thank you very much. And by the way, if you want to answer a question, I have a very small screen to read on TikTok, so it's very hard for me to see the questions. But if you want to ask a question, super easy to do. Just go to this address and just post the question on the chat from YouTube, and that will give you a really, it's much easier for me to see it. What do you think about Wish? Will it go up again tomorrow? Well, I mean, like an Annie, I mean, will the sun come out tomorrow? I mean, who knows? Who knows? But let's look at Wish to see kind of, see what's going on Wish. I think I had Wish for like 5 minutes. I don't know, a few months ago. I haven't really done it. This unfortunately this is just not this isn't the kind of this is not the kind of chart that you want to see. Unfortunately, this is a downward trending chart, as you can surmise. I mean, it's basically going down. So I don't think this one. If I were a betting man, and I sort of am somewhat. Uh, if I were a betting man, I would say that this one is headed south. And I'm trying to draw these lines, but it's not cooperating very much with me right now. But this is definitely in a downward trend. It did pull back up to the 40-day line, but it's not looking good. This is not a good chart right now. Uh, you know, it might reverse maybe, but it's got a relative strength of one. This is absolutely as bad as it gets. You just unfortunately, and I don't like to be a party pooper. I don't like to rain on anyone's parade. But here's the thing with this one: you just save your money. I mean, save your money on this one. This is just not. This one is just not. This is just not the one you want. Just avoid the stock. Really, just avoid it because it's not going to come out well on this one. It's not going to come out well. This stock is in a downward trend, and it's not a very good time to buy a stock when it's in a downward trend. It's too difficult, to come out with anything that is decent. So let's take a look at another question from TikTok. Thank you so much. Let's see if I can see it. That's the big thing. Oh, thank you for following. We appreciate it very much. Oh, could you please look at PayPal and tell me what do you think? I own shares at 278. Let me just write this down. at 278. I want to give you exact advice on this. Nothing that's any good, but uh, I want to look at PayPal. Let's look at PayPal right now. Let's look at. Let's see. I'm going to put the banner up here. Question from TikTok viewer. All right. So this is this is a question from a TikTok viewer, and basically they're asking about PayPal. So and they're basically in it at 278. So that's really pretty good. Let's look. PYPL is the symbol, of course, for PayPal. Let's take a look at PayPal. There we go. All right. We had a huge drop today. And you probably know the reason for this. The reason there was such a large drop today was because PayPal agreed to acquire Pinterest. So Pinterest went up and PayPal went down. That's usually the case when when a company is being acquired by another company, is that the acquirer usually will be the one that is going down. So what would I do here? Well, it's fallen below the 200-day line, and this is a key level. There was a lot of selling that went on today, as you can see on PayPal. The earnings are in 10 days, but look at that amount of selling. Just a huge amount of selling. So a lot of people unloaded today. These are institutions. This is not individual selling. You're at 278. Here's what I would do. And you're not going to like me telling you this, but you're down more than 7% on this stock. Sell it now and wait. Or if you don't want to sell it, I think this will recover because I do think that 251 is the low point. But here's the thing. I would sell at least half at least half of my shares. And the reason I would do this is because this may fall below 251. If it does, unfortunately, it's probably going lower. I don't think that's going to happen with PayPal because it looks like it just bounced down and it's going to come right back up. But here's the thing, I think you gotta lighten up on your position. I think you gotta lighten up on your position because it's in a downward trend. This is one of the reasons why I always like to close my positions when they're in a downward trend. This is currently in a downward trend, and it has been in a downward trend for a while. So here's the thing, I think that, at the very minimum, you need to get into cash more, so I would sell half my position. It depends on how long you've been at. Typically, the rule is if you're down more than 7%, sell. But I don't know, if you could stomach that. It's usually the best thing to do that when that happens. But for right now, I think your best bet is to be proactive and to lighten your position. And hopefully, I can get my cursor. There we go. Back. Okay. So that's sort of what I would do, um, in this situation, as I would sell and I would move, I'd move into more into cash. I absolutely move into more cash. All right. So, hi Jim. Let's look at Baba. Baba seems to be improving. I had a short on it that I closed. Um, you know, it seems to be improving. Some of the China stocks seem to be improving, but I'm still very, very leery. And you look at this chart, you can see why I'm so leery on. Let's see if I can. Yeah, the reason I'm so leery on this one is because, as you can see, we definitely have this downward trend, and this is just not the kind of. Oops, come on. Yeah, sometimes it just. Sometimes I'm a little bit bandwidth constrained. Yeah, I am. I'm bandwidth constrained here. I can't draw lines. Um, but this one is starting to reverse. I just below the 200-day line, I'd be very, very leery about buying this. I want to see this move up to at least 220 before I'd be interested in buying it. So that's kind of my take. That's kind of my take on it. I think you've got to be above about 220. This is not reverse. It's still in a downward trend, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. So my advice on this one, it would be to just to just um, to just wait until it comes up to about 210. That's where I would put it in there at that point. Let's look at IBN. And interesting. Okay, so this is a bank. Okay, so this is okay, so Indian Bank. Hmm, very interesting. I don't know a whole lot about I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about this particular issue. It is above the buy zone, and the buy zone on this, the buy point on this is 1817 in US dollars up to up to about 1905. So it's above the buy zone. So it's it's a little bit extended. It's a foreign bank, 42 out of 197. You know, this one might do very, very well. Earnings are in 2 days. Here's what I would do on this one. I would wait to see how this comes through earnings. I would watch this one. I wouldn't buy it now, but I would definitely wait for earnings on this one because this one might surprise, and this could do very, very well. The banks in India are, they are doing fairly well right now. So here's what I would do. I would watch this one. I'd kind of wait for it to come through earnings, and then I would do something. I want to check the checklist on this one. It's basically an 78, so that's pretty good in terms of a checklist. I'm not a particular fan of banks. I'll be honest with you. I typically don't like them as much, but I like the foreign bank area. I like that area. That seems to be a pretty good area right now. I'm a little bit concerned with one of the good things about Indian banks is that they don't have really any exposure to the Chinese debt, and that's a problem. Chinese debt is a problem in most of these areas because of um, just because of the situation with the ever the Chinese property companies. The U.S. banks, on the other hand, the money center banks, I am a little bit leery about them right now because they have a big exposure to some of these debt in some of this Chinese real estate debt, which I'm very concerned with. But I don't think you have that case with this bank here because Indian and typically they don't have very much exposure, if any at all, to the Chinese debt market. So I'm very worried about that. But this one looks good. So I would watch this and wait through it come through earnings. It'll be through earnings in about 3 days, and then I think you could probably pick it up. It might be very very good on that. Okay, great. Let's see. Wow, Apple. Okay. Oh, great. We have some great questions here. So I'm gonna run through these. Hello, anyone. Hive looks minor. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, some of the miners are going to be doing very very well. Sentinel. Okay. I'm just looking at here. Could you please check? Okay, Volkswagen. Okay, so here's Volkswagen, Tesla, eBay. Let's take a look at Volkswagen right now, because that might be very interesting. VWAGY is the symbol. That's what it trades at New York and VWAGY, and that's Volkswagen. So let's take a look, kind of see how, check in on that. Yeah, Volkswagen AG still in this downward trend. No, I don't get it. I don't get it because they're absolute leader, but it looks like they may have bounced off the 200-day line. But boy, I just don't like this chart for Volkswagen. I would say don't buy it. Once again, the stock to buy is Tesla. After taking some time off, the one to buy is Tesla, not 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 to say anything. Let's go back to the Tesla chart here because that's really the key for the automotive groups. And I'm trying to figure out how to get into Tesla. I'm probably going to do an Iron Condor, and I may have that out hopefully tonight or tomorrow, it's depending on how much time I have. But let's see if we can see this for Tesla. This is the Tesla chart here. Yeah, this is the upward trending chart. This is what you want. I mean, it's always that way. The most expensive ones are the ones you want. Now, right now, and I want to look to see kind of how far above. It's not letting me. It's not letting me do it. Come on, let me give me the. There we go. I just want to see how far above the 10-day line Tesla is right now. Currently, it's 5% above the 10-day line. This is buyable. So Tesla actually, believe it or not, is buyable at this level, and it's more than likely going to go higher. So, but I wouldn't buy it tomorrow. I'd kind of wait to see how it closes tomorrow because it does look like it's going to pull back. Um, it's probably going to pull back a little bit tonight, and then it may open lower tomorrow. But I'd be very, this is the one if you're going to be in automotive, I think this is the one. This is just where you got to be. I mean, it is the stock in automotive. So you really can't go anywhere else. So here's the thing. I like Volkswagen, but I just don't think it's the one you want. I just don't think it's the one you want. Okay, let's look at BA. This is Boeing. Boeing has been in a downward trend, and the biggest problem that Boeing has, the way I see it, is that because the airlines are so weak, they've been talking, at least in the U.S., that many of these airlines will not make a profit for 3 years. That's terrible. That's just terrible. So here's the thing about Boeing. I'm going to reactivate the reversal line, and hopefully that'll make a difference. But right now, I wouldn't buy this. I just would not buy Boeing. It's still below the reversal line, and it's below the 200-day moving average. And yes, it might turn up, but the relative strength line is down. So I just think with Boeing, you've just got to be, it's just not time to buy Boeing now. So that's the thing. It's just not the time. BA right now. And that's kind of bad. But I just don't think you can buy Boeing right now. I don't think you can buy it. I don't think it's not looking good. It's not looking good, as they say. So I would not be a buyer for Boeing. Um, I wouldn't be a buyer for Boeing right now. Let's look at some of the other questions coming in from TikTok. Thank you very, very much. Oops. Let's see. Can you please tell me if Tesla is going? Absolutely. We did cover Tesla. By the way, if you want to see all the charts and everything that I'm showing, unfortunately on TikTok I can't show charts. But if you go to this www.bitly DTF 404, I'm showing all the charts. That's actually a YouTube channel. So that's showing them on. That's how they're being displayed on YouTube. So that's a good place to go. So let's see if we can get another question from TikTok. Thank you. Thank you for following me. I do appreciate that. Oh, Myrna. Moderna. Let's look at Moderna uh, and see what the situation is there. I have to somehow lock these windows because this is just okay. Um, so let's look at Moderna here. Uh, mRNA is of course the symbol, and with Moderna, take a second for it to come up. There we go. It moved down. It found some support at 293, and it's moving up again, but it looks as if there's not any support. So, boy, I would be careful with this one. It's up $5 after hours. It's coming up to the 200-day line. I just think that there isn't really a good place to buy this one right now. There's just not a really good place to buy Moderna right now. So I would be very careful with Moderna. I think it's may go lower. There's some talk that some of the vaccines aren't quite doing as well as they thought they were. So I'd be careful. I'd be careful with Moderna as well. Okay, did we do Sentinel? Okay, Hive. Oh, thoughts on that? Okay, let's look at Cloudflare. I do have one of the security stocks, which is this is Cloudflare NET. is not necessarily a security stock. There we go. There we go. Cloudflare. Yeah, this is just spectacular. Yeah, this is this is just a spectacular stock. Cloudflare. You know, unfortunately, there's really no place to buy it. It's not in a base. The correct buy point was as it moved above 137, and unfortunately, that's not. So right now, you just can't buy it. It's extended. It's a great stock, but you don't want to buy it at this level because you don't want to buy it at this level because it is extended. So it's just one of those things. It's extended, and the problem is you can buy the right stock, and a lot of people will never tell you this, but you can absolutely buy the right stock. You could buy the right stock, but if you buy it extended, you're gonna get stopped out because the canceling rule is if you're down 7%, you need to sell. And I know that's harsh, and but believe me, if you do this on a regular basis, and this is what I did, this is what changed my trading many years ago. Well, not many years ago, but I used to hang on to stocks thinking that would come back. Now, what I do, if it's down 7%, I just put a stop loss in there. Boom. If it's down 7%, I'm out. Now, you know what? That's helped me tremendously. So with Cloudflare, even if you were to buy it here, which is it's a great stock, it's extended. I would not buy it right now. I would not buy it right now. I would wait, for it to form a base because it's just not a good place to buy. There you go. Ah, thank you. Good quote there. Good comment there, Jay. As you know, I follow, and if you've watched the show, you follow. I follow Apple a lot, and there's a very key level on Apple, I believe, which is 150, and I'm going to show you the chart on it right now. I have a reversal line there, and the reason I do is because this is going to inform me when it moves above 150. Now, here's the thing: I would consider buying it if it moves above 150. But according to my reversal line here, it has not yet moved above 150 since since way back here in June. It hasn't. So it's still at this 150 level, and it's so close. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart to see. It might have just stuck its head above. No, it has not made 150 yet. So here's the thing. I do believe that if it can close above 150, it might be worth buying because it's now finally doing the right thing. It's but here's the thing: the 10-day line is starting to catch up, but it is above the 200-day line. That's so critical. It's above the 21-day line. It's above the 40-day line, and it's making progress up to this 150 level. I think above 150, it's possibly viable, but I wouldn't go in with all 2 feet. I would possibly do a half position if it moves above and it closes above 150. So what I would possibly do with Apple, because I do think the market is improving right now, that seems to be the case. So what I would do on Apple is that I would you know so if Apple closes tomorrow above 150 on good volume, then one half position. That's what I would do. If it closed, I don't know if I will be doing this only because I'm pretty much out. I'm starting to get allocated. But if Apple closes up tomorrow above about 150 on good volume, and what I mean by good volume is, you know, at least average volume, but probably better than average volume, then I would consider buying it at that level. But I want to see it move above that 150 level. The reason that 150 level is so important is because of this. This is the local high. Now, if it moves past that, then it's probably going to move up to the actual pivot, which is at 157.26. Right now, this is an early buy. This would be an early buy on Apple, but it possibly, if you were to buy it tomorrow and it closes above 150, I think you could probably get at least $7 out of it or more as it moves up. I do think that we're going to start to see it correct and move more to the upside. But this is really, I wouldn't go in with all two. I wouldn't go in with I wouldn't go in with all feet because it's still it still hasn't recovered back to where it was basically in the first week of June. So I think we've got to be very, again, just a little bit more cautious. Cautious is a good thing. Is a good thing. Okay, here's a question from Ella. Thank you very very much. Are Chevron and Coke? How are Chevron and ConocoPhillips looking? Now, here's the thing. These are what they call the integrated oil companies. Now, the oil business is subdivided into several areas, and these are the names that you normally hear, like ExxonMobil and Chevron, and those are integrated. That means that they're not just drilling; they're refining, and they're doing, they're retailing, they're doing a lot of things. So they're not just an oil company. They're kind of an everything related to oil company. But let's look at COP because ConocoPhillips is definitely one of the better ones. Unfortunately, it's extended. I want to show you the chart. So I wouldn't enter it here, but this one is extended. Now, what do I mean by extended? Well, as you can see, there is this what they call the buy point is at 63.57. Currently, it's at 76.02. Unfortunately, it's more than 5% above that buy point. So even though this is a very very good stock, and it is, ConocoPhillips is a very very good stock. When you buy it, when you buy it at this level, you're buying it extended, meaning that there's a chance that it's going to pull back to the buy point or the buy zone. There's a very good chance of it actually. So this is a tough place to buy the stock. That's not to say it's not a great stock. It is a great stock, but really the time to have bought it, and of course, it's just like the old adage, when's the best time to buy a house? And that was 10 years ago. When's the next best time to buy a house? Today, right? Well, in this case, I don't think you want to buy it today, but I definitely think this is watch listable. Very good stock, but I wouldn't buy this one. Why? Because it's not set up properly. Now, I want to look at this group because this group is doing extraordinarily well. It's number 4 out of 197. So this group is doing extraordinarily well. And I want to look at everybody kind of in this group. The number one company right now in terms of strength is OVV. If it's actually in this area, let's see if I can put them up. This is the number one oil company that you've never heard of, and unfortunately, it too, unfortunately, is extended. But this one is the number one OVV currently. It's 100% checklist, so it is a little bit stronger than you know th- than you know than this one. Let's see where ConocoPhillips falls on the list. I'm gonna open up that once again and see kind of where that falls in terms of yeah, there we go. Okay, so we have Resperol. That's a Soviet. I mean, ConocoPhillips and Vista Oil and Gas. Interestingly enough, Vista is above. Yeah, Vista is at a new high. Again, this is not viable either. Wow, this is a tough one to buy. Here's what I would recommend, Ella. Instead of buying any particular company, what I would recommend doing is I would buy the ETF, the sector ETF, the XLE. And the reason I like the XLE is because it's not just one company, it's the whole industry. And right now, this is right in the buy zone. So instead of ConocoPhillips or instead of Chevron or ConocoPhillips, now you may already own these. These are doing both well. But if you're looking to enter the oil sector, if you're looking to enter the oil sector, this is the way to go, I believe, at least for right now, and with the um, that would be with the Energy Select Spider, the XLE. That it is right now. It's in a buy zone. Currently, the XLE is at 58.50, and it is right now in a buy zone. Now, this is not a stock. This is a collection of stocks that are all in the energy sector. Now, one of the advantages of the energy sector right now is that it's the number 2 sector in the entire market. So this is a lot of investment going into this area. The way you can capture that and not have to pick a specific stock, because most of these are extended, um, uh, most of these are extended, but you can buy the XLE, and the XLE is a very good way to go because the XLE covers the whole waterfront. So this is what I would really recommend rather than buying an individual stock would be buying the XLE, and it's buyable right now today at 58.50 a share. So that would be very good. That'd be a good thing to possibly buy now. Would be the XLE. Well, I have gone a whole hour, and I so appreciate everybody watching. By the way, if you want to get on the action trade alerts, I'm going to be trying to put out some stuff tonight, like ready list. Because we are in this confirmed uptrend. We have moved from an uptrend pressure to a confirmed uptrend. This is the time to start. This is the time to start possibly. Um, this is the time it's possibly to start moving into the market more vigorously, just because of the way it is, because of the fact that we're moving to this uptrend. The Jones was an all-time high today, so that is very, very strong. And so right now, we're at least for right now, we're in this uptrend. If you want to get on if you want to get on the um, action trailer, it's super easy to do. Just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com. I'll be back tomorrow at 3:30, covering all the stocks. It's easiest if you get onto the YouTube site. It's easier for me to see the questions, and that is basically bit.ly/DTF. And tomorrow it'll be DTF 405. It just increments each day. So that's a great way to do it. Also, the action trailer, it's www.dallastradingfloor.com, and that has everything on there as well. So until tomorrow at 3:30, thank you everybody, and happy trading, and stay safe out there. Stay safe out there, and let's see if I can get the thing going. Okay, see you tomorrow.